Greetings and welcome to episode 190 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod USA campaign. This, my friends, how we left it last time, where we had a terrific battle here just outside Adrianople here, where we managed to draw in a huge swathe of the Ottoman forces defending Istanbul here, and we were just within a whisker of breaking them. But it was technically a defeat, but in reality it was a victory because we gave them an absolute sound thrashing. We really did. This army here effectively took on 9,000 Ottoman troops pretty much single-handedly, as you can see. You know, they have paid a heavy price for that. As you can see, some of these regiments are down considerably, but my goodness me, they gave the Ottomans a real pasting. And as you can see here, this is what is remains of the Ottomans. Now, these were almost at full strength. Looks going to be deceiving. They were excellent troops, but they are no longer in good shape at all. They have taken a real bashing. They really, really have. Look at that. Now, the Sepias, which are probably the most feared of their troops, they were actually dispatched quite quickly early in the battle. They did charge into sort of square formations and were quickly dispatched. We do have still a number of forces that weren't drawn in, so these armies aren't pulled in at all to the fighting, but I think because they've gotten effectively no money coming in whatsoever apart from the internal economy that's generated here from Istanbul itself, I think the Ottomans might be on their last legs here. Now, the sort of consequence of us being defeated, as it were, is that the armies here, these two army groups that were sort of earmarked for the assault into Romalia, have actually become split up here. We've got a very powerful army group here which is sort of thrown, almost moved into Bulgaria here, not by design. And we've also got this army here, they've sort of moved independently away from them. Then we've got another army group down here into the sort of the south, as you can see here. Now this army here is going to take many a month to replenish and replace, as you can see, but they've got a wonderful general. Now these two armies, however, are at full strength, thankfully. So they still can be used. We've also got another army here as well, as you can see, which hasn't, which we can actually we can't move them. So we'll move them out of the port here as well, so we can actually replenish this army as well. Yeah, actually this army can pull this, so we're actually very well equipped here to deal with whatever comes our way. Now, Greece is at peace with us at the moment, we're not concerned about that, but what we did discover last episode is this is effectively 20,000 men here, which are earmarked and tied down here fighting for Istanbul. But it might actually prove beneficial to us if we can draw the Germans in, or if they attack us here, then that would effectively draw in the last remaining units of the German Empire in this coherent fashion, as you can see here. But they've got some wonderful troops, they really, really do. We mustn't become complacent here. They've also got this army here guarding the mountain ranges here. And they've still got some armies here as well, so we're not going to become complacent at all. I would like to move against Moldavia as well and take that, maybe move into Crimea. We also have sort of the last vestiges here of the empire here, right sort of into the Urals, into the back waters, as it were, of what was once Russia. Russia only has this left here, which is Moscow. We have still left a number of troops here in Moscow, but they may not be needed. And what we mustn't do is we mustn't neglect this theatre here either. We're at war with the Mughal Empire, but they haven't moved against us because we're actually against the Afghans here. As you can see, they've managed to compile quite a number of forces, particularly here. But again, they're starting to suffer some casualties as well because we have hit their trade lines pretty hard here. And as you can see, they've got nothing coming in at all, because we've taken their main sort of trade partner, which was the Persians. We've taken Esfahan, so that direct link has gone. We can't College of Divinity possibly, but now down here though, we have the army, the Marine Corps. Now this has been the absolute battering ram of the United States Army. It has been in every single theatre we fought in, and it has been in the most bloody, brutal battles you can possibly imagine. It was at the forefront of the Battle of Persia. We've managed to tame Persia thus far, but we've got to really be on our guard here because they don't like us at all. We've had to retrofit some of this army here with the cavalry, but alas, we've not been able to. But can we send... We can send cuirassiers from Ankara. So I think that's what we'll do down to here. Let's have a look what we've got here. Yes, 4 will do very nicely. And our main problem has been recruitment of line infantry in the Middle East. It's been nigh on impossible with which to do so. And it really has become quite a problem for us. That's why we want to try and take Istanbul and reconfigure it so we can sort of bring the troops from Ankara and feed them into the Middle East via that, even if it means we have to transport them via the Black Sea and move through sort of Baghdad and down into this theatre of operations here, because it's brutal at the moment. We might just send out, we've got a large, if you can see, a huge cavalry group, which was the council did want us to move here, but we're just going to do some scouting here. We want to make sure we're just, these are the main groupings of the Afghans, because once we move from here, they got absolutely you can bet your bottom dollar that one of these will move out and try and take Esfahan. If they do that, as you can see, look at that, 18,000 coming in here. It's an extraordinary amount of wealth. But the growth here is pretty poor. To see, look at that, minus 71 here. And that's because of these down here. They started to sort of really quell here, and we've got the Persians here, which we've got to be careful of. We've garrisoned the Baghdad because last time Baghdad was the sort of cornerstone of our defence, but we have lost Baghdad in the past, so we don't want to have that again. And we're trying to solidify our hold here in Armenia, so that the last vestiges of the Ottoman forces here, if they move against us, or even the Persians move against us, we can hold out before a force can be sent out to help us. I think we'll get this here. Let's upgrade that here. Let's convert. Everything else is at full strength here. Now ideally we need to bring more forces into here to destroy the Afghans, because it's going to be an incredibly difficult fight. And we've got this army here, which we're going to use to bring an end to this. Look at that, to this Barbary States menace here, which has cut off our income here from the port there. And we're at war with Naples, but fortunately we've been able to block them off, and in fact they're starting to lose a lot of men here. They've got some good income coming from here, but that income is internal. If the Italian states was to go, then they would be in big trouble here. Now, of course, our war with Spain is being ferocious. Now they have got a lot of reinforcements with. They're starting to feed around sort of the peninsula here, and feed them into Spain, as you can see. Into France, I beg your pardon. But again, we've given them a sound thrashing. We've also got a bridgehead here, across the river here. And we've actually managed to secure Strasbourg for ourselves, as you can see here. Now these two armies have moved in to really sort of bolster that defence. If they want Strasbourg back, they're going to cost them dear. And in fact, these are the remnants of the armies we've just fought, but still potent forces. We mustn't become complacent, my friends. We really mustn't become complacent here at all. But they still stand tall here, the Spanish. It's not going to be an easy, but we've managed to hold off here, and it has been a brutal fight. Absolutely ferocious here in these forts. And here as well, look at that. I mean, look what these are down to. But we do have two Spanish forces that have managed to slip through the defences here. This one is the particular problem here. This one not so much, but it's more a reserve force to aid this one here. We are trying to move forces here and here to intercept. As you can see, most of these here have been involved in fighting on this sort of northern flank here. The sort of southern flank is doing quite well. It's starting to push in. If we could perhaps envelop all of this here, maybe that pincer movement to sort of surround the Spanish here by feeding more forces in this way. I wonder if we can. Yeah, that's not at full strength either, is it? Not by a long shot. And they've lost quite a few. We lost quite a few lot here and here. I mean, look at these regiments have been absolutely battered, but they can't cross the river here. The Spanish. They need these here. Well, thankfully, we've managed to hold off, and we hold the crossing here. But I think we can end the turn here, my friends, and see what comes of it. I've got a very strong suspicion we're going to be fighting here, down here, unless the Germans. And just before we do that, let's move in here and besiege this town here. Moldavia. Let's try and take Moldavia. We're going to move these gentlemen because they've got the guns to break those here. Look at that. No, right, we'll just encircle here, continue the siege. And we'll just guard these gentlemen here. We don't know what's here. France have got Ukraine, they've also got Podolia and Galicia. And they're becoming a little bit agitated towards us, to say the least. And Karelia here is owned by France as well, so this sort of hook here is owned by France, and they start to spread their influence a little bit. So look how they view us. See, they're hostile towards us. They really don't like us one iota. They're allied with the Germans. But I wouldn't be surprised if we dispatch or destroy a good chunk of the German forces. I think France will declare war upon us, but we shall be prepared here, my friends, believe me. But we could probably move this force as well down into the region here, just to put an army group into here, just in case we get able to punch through to Kiev if they decide to move against us. They're not happy with us at all here, but that's absolutely fine. This is again, growth here is pretty poor, to say the least. We do have these gentlemen here in this star fort, which we're going to leave. And can we recruit? I think some artillery wouldn't go amiss, I don't think. Thus, now let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what comes this way. We are moving down one of our priests here just to spy for us. We've got another spy here on the coast road, just so we can see what's moving in from Spain. We also need to move against Spain proper as well, if possible, but that's going to again. Are they moving out? Looks like they've had enough. Now here's France, but France has built up a steady supply of forces here and have become quite powerful indeed. Of course, the Germans still hold Minsk. Now, what will the Germans do? Will they actually move in here and take the fight? I'm not sure if they will. They're going to move down here and probably try and solidify their hold here. Here we go. This will be important here. Will they move against us? No, they haven't. We might be able to move against Romalia if they don't. As you can see here, they're starting to really push now, trying to goad us out of our defences around Vilnius and Warsaw. Oh, look at that. Oh, now that's drawn in these two gentlemen here and 16,000, and we cannot pull away from this. We've got to take this fight. But look what they bring in here. They're bringing in a plethora of, my goodness me, that's extraordinary. We're going to be right up against it here, my friends, and it's mostly a cavalry army as well. It's mostly a cavalry army. Oh, that's going to hurt a lot. That is going to hurt us a lot. We're going to have to really work some magic here, because the cavalry is going to... This is a cavalry heavy army. We've got 3 line regiments. We're going to have to bring these gentlemen on as well. We could definitely have to use the cavalry here to try and just chip away at them here. They're going to come straight for the front lines here. We've got cuirassiers, 3 lots of cuirassiers, which we'll use. Have to use some of these for... Oh, we actually got 4 regiments. We might be able to hold a decent line here and sort of wrap them around here. Now, let's get these gentlemen. We're going to need these before we need cavalry for definite. So let's bring them in here. The infantry has to be brought into the line first. Let's get our veterans in here. I don't know why we've got another general in here, but I think that is us there for the reinforcements. And here, again, we might need cavalry at this point, because remember, this will be the 3rd army coming in. We're up against effectively nearly 20,000 against 7,000. They outnumber us at least 2 to 1. But if we can destroy this German army, or at least maul it, but mind you, it's going to consume a large number of our forces that are earmarked for the fighting in Romalia. So again, we really are up against it here, my friends. I kid you not. Let's bring in all these gentlemen here. It's okay now, the rest we can just bring in as we wish. Gentlemen, please, thank you. This army here is going to be dealt with entirely differently because this majority is a cavalry heavy. This is meant to be a sort of a reinforcement army that feeds the cavalry into the battle. But it's actually the main principal defending army. We have to use these forces to wrap around the cannon, use the cannon fire support, and then use the cavalry in a more of a defensive, offensive way. So using the cuirassiers offensively and then using these gentlemen as defense. But we got enough here, I think, to do some real damage, hopefully. Right, let's take this fight. My goodness me, they outnumber us massively here. This might consume these 3 armies here, and that'll be a real problem for us. But let's take the fight. Let's not complain any longer. Let's do this. Take a beverage of water there, my friends, before the battle begins proper. The topography as well will be absolutely vital. If we do get a good battlefield layout, it'll work in our favour. But I think probably the best tactic perhaps here is to get on top of that army as quickly as possible with the cavalry and just maul it. You know, really give it a sound mauling and try and keep the reinforcements at bay. So effectively try and attack the German reinforcements as they come onto the field. But it's going to be difficult getting there. And we've got 4-line infantry, which are going to have to be effectively just ringing around the fires, the cannons, because we're not sure which direction. Also, the Germans go. Oh my goodness me! Now the topography here, not too bad up here. We've got a massive deployment zone. It is absolutely huge. But the topography here is pretty flat. It doesn't give us any distinct advantages here at all. Maybe the flanks do slope upwards, as you can see here. But typically, we're in sort of this lush forested land, really, isn't it? I mean, look at it, there's forest everywhere here. Now, if we were up there, that would be a whole different ball game. But we're not. So we've got to make the best we've got here. We've got to keep away from any buildings. We need open land, open plains here for the cavalry. So, let's first of all establish our defensive line here, because our reinforcements are also going to come in from different angles. We've also got to be careful we don't have any German reinforcements coming in from the flanks or even from the rear of us, which I don't think they will be. But let's just put our cavalry to one side here. And cavalry here to one side. Cavalry here. That's the general, so we keep the general here, but as you can see, this is the only line infantry we've got of these. But we've got plenty of fire support now. If we can use these to maximum effect, it's going to prove absolutely vital to us. Now, let's first of all, I think we'll bring all of them in together here, all into one, and we'll just bring them back to here. Let's get unlimber, and we'll have gentlemen on shrapnel shot, because shrapnel shot is absolutely brutal. But we'll have these gentlemen on quicklime, which is an absolute wonder. Now, we're going to have to use these gentlemen here. We'll use our most experienced regiment here, which is going to be in the van, and we could use the walls here, but it doesn't give you the same protection. So let's set our defences thus. This regiment here, on the right, as it were, another regiment here, which we're going to angle just to make sure we protect this fire support here, because the fire support is going to be doing a lot of the work to start with. That's all we have, unfortunately, is that. We've cut the road here as well. Now, what we definitely are going to be doing is keeping cavalry back to defend the flanks here, to keep them at bay. I think we'll have the cuirassiers as our main attack force here. We'll just put them, I think, here on the left, so we can move along. They've got this slope here as well. We've got a lot of trees here we can use, and maybe this sort of, if you go down to eye level, as you can see, there's sort of a slope down here. You can move into this sort of, not valley, but small. Oh no, wait a minute. there's those steps here, so we're going to have to go around here and around there like that. This is fine. That's absolutely fine. Now, defensively, we're going to need the cavalry. Cavalry's going to have to be defense for defense as well. I think we'll pull one regiment out by here. I'd like to keep 3 regiments in defense here on this particular flank. So we'll do it this way. We'll have 1 regiment here as well. 2 regiments just by here. So we can sort of counter punch on the flanks. We've got these 2 regiments here as well. Now we've got... Let's pull these regiments in here, these horse. Now we've got these here as well, which we might send out with the cuirassiers. So again, we're going to do the same thing. 2 regiments here and a regiment separately. Because what you can do is you can hit with this regiment, then flank these around into the enemy. Be under no illusion, my friends, it's going to be an incredibly tough fight to start with. And I wonder if we use these as a reserve. We might just keep this regiment by here as well. And this regiment, we're using the same... Again, just counter-punching all the time, hitting and running, hitting and running. The cavalry, unfortunately, or shall I say, the regiment of horse, are going to be on the defence. These are the only offensive formations we have here. There are 3 cuirassier guards, and they have to be used very wisely indeed. So you see, you can't go down there, as you can see. So once we get down, because they got this sort of almost step-like slope, as you can see here, see, and they always cause havoc. This sort of semicircle bowl is created. We'd have to go through here and then weave around. With the demarcation line, here it is here, so we can't actually go very far onto the flanks. Right, let's begin, my friends. Hold on to your hats, this is going to be an absolute brute. Oh, look at that, straight away they got gendarmerie here. And here as well, look at that cavalry, lots of cavalry on the flanks. As we suspected here, all the cavalry on the flanks. But patience is going to prove absolutely vital here. Also watching the enemy here. And there's their first reinforcements here. There it is there, see. And they've come into some fire already. But we are going to move ourselves in here. Again, just waiting here. Let's get them on long. See, we're already taking a lot of damage here already, and so are these. From these here, these 3-pounders. As soon as they hit this line here. Steady, lads, now steady. Hitting our front line here pretty hard. We've got a lot of cavalry here to defend the flanks. Oh, some excellent shots there, well done, sir. That's more like it. That is more like it, sir. That's a wonderful shot. Look at that. They've been eviscerated there. They're going to soften us pretty hard here. When they look there, they've got the stakes here right on the flanks. Very crafty indeed, sir. We've got a lot of cavalry here, so we've just got to wait this out. I wonder if we can push the flanks here a little bit as well. That's a nice shot there, sir. Will it reach? It will indeed reach. Let's get them. Just preparing ourselves because we're coming up against a lot of trouble here. Look at that, they're doing a huge amount of damage to our... That's well done, lads. Well done. That's a beautiful shot, well done. That's the entire regiment almost gone. It's going to be about discipline, this is, my friends, about holding our nerve here. We can just get one good shot on this square here. We got them there, look at that. That's extraordinary gunfire there, sir. Extraordinary. The counterfire here is being exceptional, mind you. These regiments are taking a real pasting here. No, we don't mind here. I don't mind sitting here for a while, just allowing this to go through. We are going to have to move at some point. We need to crush this quickly. Here we go. We hit this flank here first. Oh, that's a beautiful sight. My goodness me. Take these. Oh no, Swiss line. Swiss line has to go. Here we go. Look, they're moving up against us now here, as we suspected. We're just going to shadow these gentlemen here, just for the meantime. Just going to shadow them here. We're going to go shrapnel shot here, because these will soon be within range. I'm just going to shadow these here. Again, we're just going to shadow them. This flank here has been hit pretty hard. Oh, look at that. goodness me. What? That was a shot from... it was perfection. It was absolute perfection. If we can crush both these flanks here. Oh my goodness me, look at that. Right down the sides of it there. That's a wonderful shot, my goodness me. This is why we had to protect the guns at all costs. Now, we know they can... Look at that, they're being flanked here themselves. They're being protected here. Let's get in there, let's get in there. Get rid of the cavalry at least. Got them, look at that, we got them. Oh, look at that, causing absolute havoc here. No, 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 my goodness me. What is going on there? What is going on there? Oh, we had them then by the absolute... The marksmanship there is poor. Because these should not have broken. Get on them, lads, get on them. Let's clear this flank here. Oh my gosh, we're going to lose quite a few here. They've gone. We're going to try and take out this artillery was giving us so much trouble here. Oh, that's a wonderful shot. Get into them, lads. Here come the reinforcements. We've got to get these cannon here. Oh, they came back. Excellent. Let's put them here just to recuperate. Come on, lads. Get in there now. Get in there. Got to clear all of this. Give them a good morning there, lads. Steady, lads, steady there. Don't buckle, lads, don't buckle. That's a wonder. You fiends. Get into them, lads. Oh, they've gone. Look at that. They just can't take it, sir. That's a smash there, sir. What a wonder. Come on, break them, lads. That's it. Well done. Let's keep them busy here. Let's keep them busy. Don't you break, lads. Don't you break. Oh, they've gone. They've gone. Hold strong, lads. Hold strong. They don't like it. They don't like it. Come on, don't let them escape. Don't let them escape. Shattered, please, gentlemen. Shattered. Let's get rid of this force here once and for all. Oh, let's get rid of this army. Look at this. What a wonder. Get out, get out, get out of there. Yeah, they've had enough. They're running. Put them to the sword here, gentlemen. Let's get rid of this once and for all, this regiment here. Don't you break, Jad, don't you break. They've had enough. That's fair enough. Well, they've fought incredibly bravely there. What a battle this has been. Let's get in there, conscripts, into those conscripts. Well done, lads, well done. Ooh, got another general here. I think we'll form another line here, I think. Up here, just out of the way here. We definitely need more reinforcements, that's for sure, but let's just corral our strength here for a moment. Because this has been a brutal fight. We've managed to clear this flank here at least, but if we could... Oh! That's a brutal my goodness me. There it is. This is the second line we need to form here. We need to form a second line. And that line is going to be up here because we know the Germans are going to overwhelm this position eventually. But we just need to be able to form a second line here at least. Let's get into them. Let's get into them, lads. This flank here is taking a real pasting. Come on, why aren't you firing, sir? That's more like it, well done. They've gone, but by Jove, they took a good chunk with them there, didn't they? Yes, we've crushed this flank here. Let's crush this flank here as well. Here they come. We should have some additional units coming in soon. We've just got to try and hem and keep this German tide from overwhelming us just for the meantime. How are they getting it? Nah, they've gone. They've buckled there. This line's going to collapse pretty sharpish here. Got to try and collapse as much of this flank as we can here and try and keep them at bay while we establish a secondary line. Gotta keep them at bay here. No, it's a pikeman. Get out of there. Here we go. There they are. There they are. A secondary line must be created here. Once all these leave the field, we should have some more coming in. Square, lads. Come on, fire now, fire. Right to the very last, look at that. It's given us time just to reconfigure our lines here, but they're going to overwhelm us if we're not careful. There's only conscript, damn. Look at that, they've done us a huge amount of... Right from there, look at that, 6 pounders are going to cripple us here. Those 6 pounds there are going to be an absolute menace. Come on lads, double time now. Look at this. This one gun here is going to cause absolute mayhem for us, you can just tell. Look at that, the target and these troops are not even going to get to the... You need cavalry. We're going to have to use one of our generals here to do this. We're going to thread the needle here and just go right for this gun here. This gun's going to tear us apart otherwise. It's going to give us so many problems. It's 12 pounder as well there. Get bogged down there, sir. Get out and get rid of that guns there. Thread the needle, lads. Thread the needle. Let's just close the ranks up here a second. There's our secondary line. It's got to hold. It's got to hold. You were given an order, for goodness sake, gentlemen. Get into these guns here. They're always ignoring orders. Move. Get into these guns here. Well done, lads, that's it. They've got, they don't like it. A well-established line here, look at that. I think we can probably close the door on these gentlemen here. Slam the door shut on them. Come on, lad, no. Yeah, come on, get rid of these guns. Come on. Oh, look at this. Oh, they're dicing with death there. Look lively, lads. We've managed to... Yes, we've managed to... So, come on, keep going, lads, keep coming. Let's have some proper order here, some proper discipline. Let's close the door on them. gone. General's gone, but we've had to do that. We had to, at the time, we had to get rid of that artillery. It's been gotten rid of. Now I've got him surrounded. Look at that. It's not in position yet, but it's taking, well, it's taking the casualties at all. Fair play. Here comes the second wave. Let's deal with the bodyguard here. That's a wonder. Oh, no, 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 no. I think these gentlemen here have just arrived. I think we're using them to do damage here. Let's pull them into this morass here. That's a wonderful fight. We've absolutely mauled them here. My goodness me. Oh, that's a wonder. I'll have you here, please, if you wouldn't mind. And let's just... Wow, we've given them a real thrashing here. They've gone. Let's make sure they're gone for good. Its fire supporters, look at it, we've set up the secondary line from here. I think we've just destroyed 3 German armies. No, I beg your pardon, my friends. 2 German army groups. Now that's more like it. It's an absolute blitzkrieg. goodness me. What a battle that was. Close victory. Wow. We absolutely mauled those German forces. Look at that. They lost 7,000 troops. Nearly 7,500 gone. We lost 2,000. Look at that. 12,000 remaining. Still outnumber us considerably, but my goodness me, we gave them a real mauling there. Look at that artillery here. It's almost 400 kills. Wow. Now that was a battle and a half, my friends. That was a wonderful battle for us. Let's push them right up against here, Belgrade. We're not ready for that fight just yet, but we have done an exemplary job there. Oh my goodness me. Wow. Those 4 regiments and that cavalry effectively defeated nearly 2 German army groups. No exaggeration, my friends. No exaggeration. All Afghanistan do here. Looks like they could try and reinforce this road down here, perhaps. Yeah, they are. They're going to try and move towards the port there. You can just see it. I wonder why. But if they stay in one place, that means we can move that army group down. Looks like they're going to put everything into... Yeah, they're going to reinforce these armies here. But Russia, I think Russia can do much, to be honest with you. I don't think it can. Persia, don't do anything silly now, Persia. Because they do have an extraordinary amount of forces still left of them. Hopefully they'll just keep themselves to themselves here for a while. Until we're ready now. Oh, look at Spain here. What will Spain do? They can't match our naval forces. That's impossible. Well, it looks like they might be reinforcing and repositioning their troops here. Yeah. I don't think they'll be able to push it out of Strasbourg too quickly, though. That'll take a good amount of their strength to do that, because we are in a fortified position. Yeah, they're reinforcing here Cologne, and they're moving extra forces up from Spain itself, and these are brand new armies, effectively. So it looks like they're reinforcing the front here. Yes, they are, look at that. Definitely reinforcing the front, especially around Strasbourg. So this, oh my goodness me, look how many forces they've got here. It's extraordinary. We're going to see a huge influx of reinforcements from the Spanish. Yes, as you can see here, my friends, all of them moving up into France. So it looks like they're going to be doubling down here on what's going on here in the battle. And although we do outnumber them, we just don't have those numbers just yet. I wonder if we can leave Afghanistan alone and maybe move some of those forces back into Europe. Because you can see here, the Spanish are starting to reinforce considerably a lot of troops here. Yeah, I'm not sure about you, my friends, but I've counted potentially 3 army groups moving into here to reinforce. Huge reinforcements by the Spanish. Huge. Here. Here, down here, my goodness me, that's masses. Yeah, look at that. They're reinforcing Cologne. In other words, if we want to break this, it's going to cost us dear. We might expand our bridgehead in Strasbourg. Yeah, they're pulling all there. They're not pulling any punches here, the Spanish. They're doing what we're doing, which is hunkering down here. A daring raid here. Surrender demanded. Not a chance. Yeah, they're going to throw quite a lot of this again. Luckily, we've got this army group here that's just arrived, but it looks like they're moving everything they've got here from Spain into France. What the blazes? wow again. That's a double wow. Double wow, one wow for the battle we've just had, and wow for the number of reinforcements that are moving up. Ooh, again, oh, they've gone for Munich. They've gone for Munich. Well, that'll be the battle, my friends, for next episode. And they've thrown a real spanner in the works. If they take Munich, they've taken one of the main production centres here behind the lines. Wow, the plot thickens, my friends. That's 3 wows. Right, that's a battle we've got to at least contest. At least contest here. Because they've got the artillery. We've got artillery. We've got a good number of troops at least here, but they do outnumber us here. At least by, yeah, not by many though. Not by 300 or so. They've mostly got cavalry, and it's a fortified city, so the cavalry's going to be nulled effectively. They're going to have to try and move in against us here. Now we can use our cavalry to do a lot of damage. Actually, we've got another regiment here, and we've got cannon. But my friends, this is going to be for next episode. Hope you've enjoyed. This as always, thank you for wonderful advice and support. Thank you for your wonderful comments in the last episode as well. Absolutely critical, my friends, what's happening here. But sometimes your comments, I can't always put them straight into action as well, because things like this come along where you can't predict what's going to happen. But whatever you've put there, my friends, in the comments, your comments and your advice and strategies will always be put into practice. As soon as we've cleared and as soon as the battle stop, we will definitely be putting them into practice, my friends, and into the battle reel, as it were, into the campaign reel. I promise you, my friends, because actually all of your advice has shaped and guided this campaign hugely. As you can see here, the fortified defences along the frontier here, that was a council's idea, and it saved our bacon many a time. Point in principle here, my friends. But as always, thank you for your wonderful advice and support, my friends. But whatever you're doing, please be safe. But until next time, bye for now.